Hey, Ryan Michael Galloway at We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com, the site that tells you, and the post that tells you how to manage yourself in the music business so you don't have to give the money away to managers and record companies and stuff like that. And by the way, I am an author. I do write some books. I would like to point out one. This is my latest book. It's the Band Promotion Turbocharger. More fans, more fame, more money. Both traditional and internet marketing, and some, I think, tons of good ideas for you in here if you haven't been thinking that way. How to build your fan base and get people to follow you. I could maybe spend a minute on my pet peeves, but we'll get into that maybe in another post. And so let's move on. By the way, you can get that book at www.gigsterclinics.com. That's where my stuff gets marketed from. If you don't want to buy a fancy copy, but you do want the information all in one place and you can't sit through all these posts to learn everything, and believe me, I'm going to give you in the next 365 days everything that I know. But if you don't want to wait for that, but you still want the information, I will be putting that out for free in PDFs very soon, all my books. So you'll be able to get those. But in the meantime, if you would like a nice bound copy or you want to give it away as a gift, that's the way to go. So more information coming on PDF soon. Enough of the ads. Let's talk about compression and what a compressor is. What is a compressor? Well, you may have noticed that sometimes things are very loud and very soft in the mix of a band. Sometimes vocals jump way out front and then the vocalist is very soft and then they're loud again, and it's just driving the sound engineer crazy. A compressor, the main thing it does is it turns stuff down when it's loud. It can turn things up a little bit when they're soft as well. But the idea is to kind of squash the sound a little bit, hopefully not too much, because you still want some dynamic range. But if you have a singer, and I've seen this even recently, where somebody likes to sing very softly and then belt out a line really loud and then really softly again, the sound engineer cannot stay on top of that, and they can never make your vocal sit in the mix. So if they're going to be easy on themselves, they've got two choices. They can leave the thing leave your vocal turned down and let you get buried on the soft notes, or they can turn the vocal up and let you kill everybody on the loud notes. This solves that problem. You can even get them in a box just for one guitarist if you want. But I like to cluster all my vocals and send them through this in a submix, which we talked about a couple nights ago when we were talking about the board. So it's not really an effect. Some people might say, oh, we don't really need any effects in this room. This is not an effect. This is an essential piece of gear to flatten out your mix and make it sound good. There are other instruments that sometimes get too loud very unpredictably. One is the bass, as an example. Guitars have kind of a self-limiting factor, especially when they're played loud and crunchy, and someday I'll explain how an amplifier really is, in some ways, a compressor, a very dirty compressor all by itself. We'll get into that later. But anyway, I'm not going to tell you how to use this thing because I'm teaching you how to manage the people who are working around you, not do their jobs necessarily. But I will tell you this. There's an automatic setting that comes on this one. This is a DBX, and it costs like maybe a couple $100. There's a setting on it called Over Easy. It is the factory setting, and it defeats all the other settings, all the knobs. But you know what? They spent a lot of money figuring out the factory setting, and 9 times out of 10, it works really well. So when you're using equipment, try the factory setting first. And a lot of times, I mean, even on drum machines and things like that, it's the way to go. Try one of the factory settings and see if that works, and save you a lot of work. That was the whole point. I'm Ryan Michael Galloway, and coming to you again from We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com. Thanks.